I'm Tisha,
I'm Loren.
and this is the Open Booked Podcast. Today we are talking about Colleen Hoover's It Ends With Us, It Starts With Us duo, and we are here for it. So ready to be
Yes.
done with all of the CoHo. As much as I love her, I'm done.
Yeah, it's honestly caused kind of a reading slump for me. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm looking forward to maybe us reading a new book together to cover and not like these rereads. Like, I'm really looking forward to the change in scenery. Now, we are gonna cover Verity. We've
Yes.
talked about that because that's the book that got us both like really back in, and obviously it's a phenomenal book, but for now we're we're ending our coho extravaganza today. Well, I
Yes.
think we're going to do a little episode review of the movie, right? And that
Yeah,
might
probably
be, but that's
probably
different.
2 weeks. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
we'll
so
we'll do the movie and then yeah, I don't know how we'll do that, but we'll talk
we
about
can
it for
maybe
sure.
do something on TikTok or
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, like a little short after we watch the movie, because we have tickets for 3 days from now, right?
I'm so excited.
I talked to some friends that are going, and they're not going to like Saturday, Sunday, and I'm like, we got lucky with our early release tickets, so we're going
So
Wednesday.
we like the 7 o'clock showing sold out, but there is a 7:05 showing that I checked I think 2 days ago, and it was still like half free. So
Okay, people don't
yeah,
know about it because
no,
it's technically all the advertisements are for the 9th, so
yeah,
we'll probably do like a little TikTok spoiler free, like our thoughts,
yeah,
and maybe wait a little bit for any spoilers. But because there's people watching the movie that haven't read the book, so they're gonna. And we were talking about this. Actually, I think you mentioned it to me that you didn't see any spoiler alerts before we get in. Spoiler alerts for it. It
for
ends
the
with us.
book, yeah.
It starts with us books, and then for trigger warnings for domestic violence.
Domestic violence, rape, child neglect, child abuse. I think that was it, maybe.
Yeah, that's the big stuff. That we didn't see a Blake Lively pregnant trailer, but I
Yeah.
think they're thinking, I thought about this morning, they're wanting to market to people probably too that haven't read the book, so they might want it to be this big reveal like it was for us in the book. Like,
Yeah.
she's at the hospital hurt. Oh, she didn't even know that she was, you know.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I was thinking. And then honestly, Blake Lively has a young baby, so I'm wondering if we're like getting real pregnancy scenes.
That would be interesting. Um,
Yeah.
so you went to Morgan Wallen.
I went to Morgan Wallen, and it was phenomenal. It was hot as fuck. um,
Yes.
Literally like 100 degrees. Not even kidding.
Yeah.
Um, it was a great show. It was such a disaster. We got there. We missed Ella Langley and Nate Smith, but I'm fine with both of those because you and I just saw Ella Langley like a month or
Yeah.
2 months. Okay, Jesse was
Yeah.
like, he's so over the "Excuse Me" song. He's like, darn, we missed that song that won't
Yeah.
get out of my head from TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, but we saw Bailey Zimmerman, and I just
Oh,
have to
love him.
say, he is a little Energizer bunny. He
Yes.
runs and jumps and bounces, and his voice sounded great. His energy was good. He definitely
Oh
got the
yeah.
crowd going. But I have to say, we had this mini panic moment, like we were going to be Ole Miss, because he was supposed to. So I had my sister-in-law and brother live in Kansas City. They had friends go to the show the night before, and then my boss went to the show the night before, and he texted me, "Hey, he comes out between 9-9:15," like giving me a heads up, and I was like, "Great." And then we've talked about this. Lauren's the psycho type A that has the set list. I saw that he came out 9 to 9:15. Bailey Zimmerman gets off the stage at 8. Okay, Morgan Wallen doesn't get on the stage till 9:45. The crowd started chanting, "We want Morgan," like
Oh
literally
my gosh.
insane. Which, if you've ever been to Arrowhead, it is
Mm-hmm.
it is voted the loudest stadium in the country. So the fans
For
are
sure.
rowdy. I'm not a Chiefs fan, so I find them very annoying. No offense to any Chiefs fans listeners, but it's like super rowdy. Good vibes for a concert though, I will say. But I mean, I was like, "Oh my god, are we going to get this message on the screen that says like Morgan
Oh,
is
he's
sick
sick
and can't
again.
come out?" Yeah, which I saw some videos of him the night before, and everyone's always talking about how drunk he was and stuff. I was like, well, you're performing in front of what, like 80,000 people. You might need to take a pour or two, like just to get the balls to get up there. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I heard that he did a great job performing, was a great entertainer. So I was like, I doubt that he's sick, because anytime he's sick, the show before people are complaining that he sounded terrible. And I'm like, no, I didn't hear that at all. So, anyways, getting around to the point, he comes out at 9:45 with Alex Jones, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. Which I didn't know who Alex Jones was. Again, not a Chiefs fan. I know who Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are because obviously I watch football. I'm a big football girl, but I'm a Saints fan. Anyways, so it was cool, but I'm guessing that's why that they were so late, because they were in training camp, and even Morgan Wallen was like, "Hey, thanks, Big Red," like the coach of the Chiefs, for letting the boys out of practice to come and like walk out with me. But the show, if you get over the heat, the show was fantastic. 10 out of 10. Great performer, which we've seen him before. Last time I was a little too drunk to remember how great it was. This time the heat sobered me up. By the time we left, we could both, like, we're stone cold sober. We didn't drive, so we had to like walk a mile for an Uber. That's a whole nother story. But no, great show. Great show. Stadium shows are just a whole nother level. Like, they had this bracelet. The band with the light show. Oh my gosh, that was my first experience of that. That was so cool. Like, just seeing like thousands and thousands of people, all, not even the cell phones, like the colors going with the music. So much fire, so much pyrotechnics, like fireworks, multiple stages. There was one where he was like, we were row 38, like on the other side of the end zone, and when he moved to like the stage B over here or whatever, we were like right there. It was so cool.
That's fun.
But yeah, no, anyways, I could talk about it all day. Great show. I know every song. I'm like, he's my number one. So my husband was a trooper and dealt with heat to take me. So yeah, great show. And you saw Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
I haven't yet.
So good. So good. And like I said, I don't want to spoil anything for you. So definitely don't ever look up the cast online, because that will tell you everything you need to know. But
I have seen a few cameo spoilers, and I'm like, how many cameos are in this thing?
So many cameos. I was like, oh my gosh, that's Jesse would love it. Let me just say.
Yeah, we heard about one, and it's like one of Jesse's. I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone else listening because it got spoiled for me. But it's like one of Jesse's favorite series is from like the 2001 or whatever year it is.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my god, that was the first Marvel movie.
First Marvel movie, yes. And Jesse will die. He knows. I think he saw the spoiler too, but anyways, and Jesse's favorite is Deadpool, has been him for Halloween multiple times. So I'm surprised we haven't gone yet, but we'll go.
Yeah, and you've seen, all the previews that show him doing the dancing and the singing and riding in a minivan.
Yeah.
And it's even better. Like, you can't even imagine how it all matches together, but it's perfect. I love it, and was definitely the best one.
Ooh, you're saying it's the best?
Yeah.
Well, Wolverine's my favorite Marvel character.
Yeah.
So Hugh Jackman's there. I'm in. Oh my goodness. Now I gotta go. Well, tonight's the finale of House of the Dragon. So it's like House of the Dragon, Deadpool. Maybe we can make both work. I don't know. But we've been like going all weekend. I got so much going on. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm dying to see it.
So Olympics. Katie Ledecky is a fucking beast.
And Simone Biles, like, these queens are going off. Love it. Yeah, I'm like literally repping today. My world is revolving around the Olympics. Multi-view on the phone, like, I am living for the Olympics this year.
Yeah. Like, I'm of course, at the gym they have all the TVs, and they showed her win, and like she finishes and is like looking around, and I was like, she the only one in the pool? What's happening? I was like, oh, yes. There's everybody else 10 seconds later.
Literally. Oh, the fifth. Yeah. And then if you look up the records for that race, top 20 is her.
But
Literally.
then if you go out, Jeremy said if you go out to like top 35, she has 30 of the top 35.
She is a fish. She's a literal fish. You know, she's 28. She won her first gold. Yeah, Jesse and I were like, put it on. They do this prime time on Peacock every night that like pretty much wraps up the whole day of like all the gold medals and stuff. And they were interviewing her. Yesterday she won the 800 meter. I think it was a very close race, but it was her fourth Olympics in a row winning that particular race, and the only other person who's ever done that is Michael Phelps, which GOAT, right? Yeah. And she won her first gold medal in that race when she was 15 years old. Insane, right?
I can't imagine doing anything that amazing at 15.
No. The only thing I was doing was wrecking.
Parties.
I was wrecking cars at 15. Oh gosh. No, that is insane. Like, and then Simone Biles too got her other gold yesterday. She got her gold on vault yesterday. And then she's playing. We're recording this on Sunday, so by the time this comes out, y'all, we're gonna be a little behind on the gold medals. Yeah. I'm sure Simone will have 2 more by then, but yeah. And then Suni this morning, right before I got on here, got bronze in bars. The uneven bars. But no, we are kicking ass at the Olympics, and I'm like, you know what?
Except in fucking shooting, like
that Turkish motherfucker, hand in the pocket, pow pow. I'm like, it's air pistols, and I'm like, Jesse, I'm about to start looking up sports and finding an obscure thing that I can try to get really good at just to go.
Yeah, I saw a video, maybe it was yesterday or the day before, but it's like, I'm glad that the Olympics are starting to represent more common body types, because like you see all of these Olympians and they're not all, 5'2" and 95 pounds. Like, like the one, I can't think of her name, but she's like, she had a whole TikTok about like, oh, I bet that girl has a 30 BMI. And she's like, actually, I do. But I'm going to Olympics and you're not. So.
No, I love her. Her name's like Ileana or Ileana. Yeah. I thought, okay, she is ripped, but she still dresses like feminine, and people give her flack about it. She's like, I want to find a man. Just because I'm muscular doesn't mean I'm a lesbian. Like, fuck off. Yeah. Like, she has this whole thing about calling it the Olympic Villa, and like she's trying to find love. I don't know if you've seen her.
Oh yes.
She's hilarious. Also, rugby might be my new favorite sport. The whole like shorts thing, like insane.
Hilarious.
It's so funny. I'm like, okay, I'm a rugby fan now. But just also, like women's, men's, it's cool as shit.
You gotta make sure you wear the shorts underneath, or you got that atomic wedgie. Like,
yeah, for sure. Like, and that move, the girl we're talking about, even made a comment like, "It's rugby. Nothing makes sense. I don't know why we do it. Like, I don't know why we do it, but we do it. But it's really, really entertaining to watch."
Yeah.
And Snoop Dogg's just stealing the show, man.
And Martha just showed up yesterday. So
yeah, and they had their little dressage outfits. So cute. Yeah. Snoop Dogg is uniting us.
Yes.
But I will say, I want everyone to be this patriotic year round, okay? Not just at the Olympics. Like, it's cool to see the country come together for something, but let's like keep this energy, okay? Let's keep this going.
Yes. Always.
Yeah, but
be like my neighbor shooting off fireworks on August 3rd.
America. Oh goodness. Okay, so book club meeting is today. Yes. Our current reads were both either, I think you just finished, I am wrapping up the Thursday Murder Club. So we'll share thoughts on that after book club meeting, maybe at next episode. I'm interested to see what the other girlies think.
I know what one thought, because she texted me. She's like, I am really struggling. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I knew that going into it. I was like, ooh. Okay.
Well, I had already you texted me first, but I was going to text you and be like, I literally got the paper. We're just going to dive in. We were going to breeze over this, but let's fucking do it. I bought the book, right?
Yeah, same.
I started reading the book and I was like, oh. So then I go to my Spotify. I'm looking through all my apps, like which one has it free. Yeah. So it's on Spotify. If you have premium, you get like 10 hours a month. And my listening speed, that's like 2 books for me, like normal size books, because I listen at 2. And so I was like, heck yeah, it's included in premium. I'm going to try to listen to it. I listened to like a full hour and was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. And Same. Usually I can listen and like work and be like, okay, cool, get it figured out. Same. I was like, what the fuck? Who's having a cigarette? Who's this person? What's going on? Like, it just wasn't my vibe, and I am shocked because of how many, like the first 2 pages of the book is nothing but like 5-star reviews.
Yeah. And I feel bad because like we made the post and he responded and was like, hope you enjoy. And I was like, oh, we're so excited. And then I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just not for everyone, like obviously a lot of people like it. It's a bestseller. It has its own book club kit you can get from the library. So it's like, I get
They're making a show out of it.
They're literally with Pierce Brosnan. Okay. So it's just not it. So maybe we need to go to like, let's do like a Lucy Foley next month.
Yes.
Like something we know is good. Like, hey, we can do this Midnight Feast. Did you get the Midnight Feast?
Not yet,
okay, I'm in it. It's good. I'll vouch for it. I'm in it. It's good. So maybe we can do something we know to get so we don't scare off our book club people.
Yeah, I think it would be a great movie or show. Not loving the book though. It's too much.
Yeah. So anyways, no hate to the author if you're listening.
No.
Just not our vibe. We appreciate all works of art.
Yes. And it is art because like yeah.
I will say it's a unique idea. I was explaining it to Jesse yesterday on the drive back from Kansas City. He's like, oh, that's cool. It's a unique book idea. It's not the same like Wife Upstairs, Verity, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not that. Wait, there's 2 of them called The Wife Upstairs, right?
Yes.
One's Rachel Hawkins and one is...
I can't think of the other one.
And then there is Verity, which they're all like same scope, really. Which we're going to do an episode on that in a couple weeks, by the way. A little preview. Because we unintentionally, both of us have read all 3 of those. It was like, wait, did I read that already?
The whole time I was like, why is this the same book? Is it Frida?
It is Frida. It's Frida.
Like, is that why? Yeah.
And I kind of have some Frida haterade. Sorry,
Same.
I just... If you like Frida, go read Lucy Foley. Go read
and come back,
and talk to me. Yes, Jennifer Hillier. We could go on all day.
Willingham.
What's the other girl? I'm not gonna be able to stop until I think of this. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Is it Stacy with Flickers in the Dark?
Oh no, she's good. She's good too. Sorry, I'm looking at my bookshelf, guys. Like I'm like turning around. Gosh, what is her name? It's gonna drive me insane.
What's the book? Do you know?
Not me going to my Goodreads right now.
I know, that's what I'm doing.
I've read several. Who did the guest list? That's Lucy Foley.
Yeah.
My books. Yeah, I gotta go through the hundreds, okay? Yeah, Lucy Foley. Okay, Alice Feeney. That's who I was thinking of.
Yes, Rock, Paper, Scissors.
Rock, Paper, Scissors, and Daisy Darker. And I don't know if you've read Daisy Darker.
I don't remember. I think I did, but she also did Good Bad Girl.
Yes, I've read that one too. Okay. Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of was Alice Feeney.
Yes.
Yep. You want some thrillers? Those are our recommended authors, and they will surprise you, because we've talked about this before. A good book is a surprise, whether I like the ending or not.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I just saw your notes about Hot to Go.
I can't get it out of my fucking head.
Yeah.
H-O-T-T.
I talked to Haley about this last week. I said, I fucking hate Chapel Roan because she has evil pop, but I also love Chapel Roan because it's so fucking catchy.
It's so catchy. H-O-T-T-O-G-O.
Yeah.
I've started saying hot to go instead of good to go. Like if I'm doing some at work, I'm like, hot to go.
Hot to go.
Like, it's infiltrating my life, okay? Like, get out of my head.
Oh, man. Okay, are we ready to dive in?
Let's start with It Ends With Us. Popular misconception. It ends with us is before it starts with us, my friends. So that's what we're going to start with.
And remember, there are spoilers, so don't come at us if you keep listening.
What's your shirt say?
I'm balls deep in healing.
Okay. All I could see was on balls deep, and I'm like, cool. I love it. Okay. All right. So I'll ask some questions like usual, and we'll get through it. It ends with us. So, first of all, we've talked about the trigger warnings and spoilers. Big theme across this book is domestic abuse and violence that start during.
Another trigger, child death.
Okay. Yes. It took me a second.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. So starts in Lily's childhood. Obviously, this book goes flashing back and forth between modern life and her childhood. So in the movie, they have two sets of Lily and Atlas. Which honestly, the Lily casting's like, I saw her with red hair. I'm like, damn. Okay. Okay. So Lily was determined not to follow the pattern. If the movie starts like the book, she starts on the roof coming off of her father's funeral. People think she's being funny when she's really not. Which I can relate to that. My husband's the same way. People think he's being funny when he's being a dick, but like it happens. I'm assuming it'll start the same way. I saw the trailer of a little rooftop scene, so we'll see. How do you feel about Lily's patterns? And did your viewpoint on this change throughout the book? Of childhood and then stepping back into.
Yeah. I think she, was falling into that same cycle of abuse, from her childhood, but she could recognize it, and she's like, okay, I'm making a change for myself. I'm breaking that cycle. But I think like that opening scene, huge fucking red flag.
Yeah, it is.
Hello.
Which I'll say, first time reading it, I didn't see the red flag. I was like, ooh, we got a doctor, okay. And then I'm like, and also I'm like, talking about the patterns, I even texted you, I think. I should have went back and found the text like we did that one time. This would have been like 2 years ago, though. This would have been digging through the archives. But I think I texted and was like, why is she making me stand up for Ryle? Like, why is she making me be like, he's just in a bad mood? Like, the way she wrote him, I'm like, I don't agree with it, but this is why a lot of people don't like her, is because they felt that she romanticized Ryle being, let's just say he got some anger issues. He's got some Tamlin issues.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was one thing, and I've seen it several times between both of those. Am I the only one that loves Tamlin still? Like, even after reading the whole thing, am I the only one that still loves Ryle? I'm like, yes. Because you need therapy, honey. You need therapy.
Yeah. Bless your heart, as we say in the South. Bless your heart.
Yes.
But I did switch sides, obviously, as most do. Mm-hmm. But for a long time, after like the first injury, for sure, I was like, okay, he's a doctor. He's worried about his hands. Like, I get it. Like, okay.
They'd both been drinking.
It was like, there was so many excuses. Like, and honestly, one time, people lose their shit sometimes. Like, genuine, that one, if that was the only one, I would still be Team Ryle.
Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of that kind of mentality comes in, is because you can justify it. Like, oh, it only happened one time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think there's a whole TikTok thing going on right now about like Kay and Tay. Um, Tay got arrested several years ago for domestic violence. Kay is coming out and saying, no, he didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we have the mugshot to prove it, honey. Like, do you need help? Like, blink twice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
people do get in denial about certain things. I mean, you see this, like you said, time and time again in real life. And I will say this, like, no hate on Colleen because this movie or this book is based on her experiences.
Yeah.
Um, so like obviously she went through it. But I will say, like, I think it realistically shows how it is when you're with
Mm-hmm.
someone you love and you overlook things that from an outsider's perspective are like obviously red flags. And
Mm-hmm.
her writing point of view obviously had us like loving Lily from day one. So the fact is you're going to be on her side and make those excuses as you're reading this book.
Yeah.
Is my thought.
Yeah. And Colleen even said that there were so many times she wanted to take that out, to not make him a villain and just, make it a happy love story. But she's like, I had to do this for young me and for my mom and for any survivor of domestic violence. Like, I had to give them this kind of happy ending.
Yeah. Here's a question. Do you think Ryle's childhood trauma justifies his behavior and anger issues?
Fuck no.
0%. And I'm talking to anybody who's listening. You are an adult and you are now responsible for your own actions. You need
Yep.
help, you need therapy, you need whatever, you do it. You fix yourself. But you're an adult now. Your
Mm-hmm.
problems are your responsibility.
Exactly. Like, I think probably at least 60% of America has some sort of traumatic event in their life, especially early childhood or adolescence, and they don't do these things. So, like, it is 100% your choice to stay in that, and it is 100% your decision to continue to perpetuate that.
100%. And I will say this, we're talking about our other main male character here in this book. Also suffered traumatic childhood, and guess what?
He's fucking
He's
amazing.
not beating women. He's cooking for them. What are you talking about? He's baking the best fucking cookies ever. Um. So,
Yeah.
anyways, had to throw in that little razzle dazzle. Speaking of Atlas, why do you think Lily helped Atlas as a child when she knew how, like, she's popular, she's whatever? She knew it would cause problems with her parents and her friends.
I think that just kind of shows the empathy in her. She saw someone struggling and she's like, I have the means to help, so I'm going to. Like, why wouldn't I? And I think she kind of took that from her dad and like spun it because he's like, oh, people take a handout all day, every day. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't, he's like, I work hard for my money. And she's like, okay, but all the more reason to share that. Like, okay.
There's a difference between like taking handouts and like genuinely needing help. And
Yeah.
I think that unfortunately our society gets them blurred because there's so many people that just want
Just
shit
take the
for free
handout. Yeah.
and just take the handouts. And unfortunately, the people who are in very difficult situations get overlooked in those instances. But um, Lily was super. Here's the next question. Lily was super vulnerable when she met Atlas. How do you think that affected her choices? Do you think that maybe she needed him as much as he needed her with what was going on at her home in her home life?
Yeah, I think so. Um, and definitely through this last read, I think I've read this one 4 times too.
Yeah.
um, in this last read, I could definitely see a lot more of that, like him being there for her, and um, they're just kind of trauma bonding. As,
100%.
but theirs is in a somewhat healthy way. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they are good together. It's not like a dependent bond.
Right. Like they're genuinely rooting for each other. It's not like a unhealthy dependence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a hot take question. Lily kept mementos from Atlas. Obviously, that's how shit hits the fan here.
Mm-hmm.
She kept mementos for after she married her husband. Do you think that she was right to do that? What's your opinion?
I mean, it's really only the magnet. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
tattoo was there. Like, she
Yeah,
can't.
you're
I
not
mean, she
gonna
could
take a
get it
tattoo.
removed, but yeah. Um, the it was just the magnet. Like, yeah, she could have tossed it, but I mean, she lives in Boston, so like, if she hadn't moved to Boston, she wouldn't have met Ryle. So I
Mm-hmm.
can see how she can maybe want to hold on to it for, multiple reasons. She loves Boston. But yeah.
Well, like, oh, how he finds out, right? But
Yeah,
like
I
most
think,
people keep any journals, diaries, that sort of
yeah.
thing through their life,
And
whether it's past relationships or not.
I think a lot of that would have been avoided if she just kind of talked about it
Right.
more than just saying, I had sex with a homeless person and that was my first time. Like,
Yeah, that she definitely went about that wrong. But let's say why did she? It's a red flag that she didn't feel comfortable telling him the whole truth. Do you think?
yeah, I think so. Because I think even from early on, like they just went to that dinner, and I don't know. I think because of her childhood of seeing that abuse, knowing that that could be something that could upset him, she just avoided it altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot more of that communication that we've talked about multiple times.
Common
If they just
theme.
talked about it.
Yeah. And he could have lost it even then.
Yeah.
Like because he does have some serious anger management issues, but it would have been better being out there than I think the way he found out, and then especially like the relation to the tattoo. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what really sent him
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. And I mean, like they say, I think right at the beginning and all throughout the book, naked truths aren't always pretty. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
it, it might be uncomfortable, but you just gotta fucking do it. Like,
Yep, gotta spill the beans, man.
yeah.
Okay, so what did you think about the letters to Ellen DeGeneres?
That was
Apparently,
weird.
a lot of people didn't like them. That's why I'm asking.
I think it's
Um,
weird. Like, I'm not
yeah,
writing my journal to a celebrity. Like, I'm
yeah.
just
I
not.
thought that it was a unique way to like. I think it was just a way to try to make it different than like a
Mm-hmm.
regular journal back and forth. But do you think Ellen's gonna make a cameo in the movie? I think she might, but
That would be hysterical.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
think
I
it's so
mean,
prominent in here. Just keep
there's
swimming.
they're sitting on the couch, watching the show, so surely at least they'll show like clips of it.
Yeah. I would love for them to be like at that karaoke bar. Or maybe she's eating at the restaurant when she runs into him for the like
Yes.
I just have so many ideas. The producer should have hit me up.
Yeah.
Uh
Same. Coming to
Justin
the
Baldoni,
fans.
why didn't you turn to the cohorts for this, okay?
Yes.
Okay, when Lily finally breaks the cycle, we get the reason the book is called this way, right? I
Hmm.
think up until the beginning, when I first went to read these, It Starts With Us had just come out. It was like fresh. So I was like, oh,
Yeah.
and then I was like, wait, looking at release dates, I was confused. But it finally clicks at the end when she's like, she doesn't like realize she's going to divorce him until she has her baby, right?
Yeah. In that
So
moment.
in the exact moment when she's like, I'm caring for another person. I do not want this to be me. And so what did you think about the way that she tied in the title of the book to the whole meaning behind the book?
I loved it. It just was a really nice little cherry on top.
I agree. I thought it was well played. because the whole time you're kind of like, what ends? Like, she's getting married, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
also, can we talk about Ryle's sister being the side character that we love from the Colleen Hoover book? And
yes.
Marshall, really.
Yes, in the fucking pajamas.
Oh my gosh, they are. I hope the trailers I've seen, they look like they keep them pretty true to character, but I hope they do, because those two are like the stars in my opinion. Yeah. So okay, any other thoughts on this one before we go to It Starts With Us?
I thought it was interesting how after the first time, because they had, just gotten married, and she's like, I always told myself when I was a kid and saw this happening to my mom, like, it was simple. I would leave and it would never happen again. But then he just he plays it off, and that, I think, was the worst part for me and made me hate him the most, is because like, after it happens the second time, he lies to her. He was like, you fell down the stairs. She's
narcissist.
Like, no, you pushed me down the stairs because you were upset and you can't handle your big feelings.
Yeah. No, that's when I was like, fuck you, Ryle. I was ready to fight.
Yeah, and then I think it was after that second time, and he, like, tells her, about his traumatic childhood, and then she's like, our love is strong enough to get us through this. And I was like, nope. No, don't ever let an emotion be a thing that gets you through abuse. Like, stop normalizing that. Stop making it okay. Like, it's not normal. It's not healthy. It's not okay. And love cannot get you through anything. It is, work. It is commitment. It is communication. Like, it's all of the things. It is acts, not emotions.
Yeah, and the other thing, if the sister is on your side, there's a problem. Like,
yeah, I loved that, and they show a lot more of that in the second one. I love that. Yeah. And we kind of talked about it. The way she had just delivered the baby, not Lily, but the sister, and she stays at the hospital. Lily does. Ryle goes home because he has something early the next morning. And he's like before he left the hospital, he was like, come home and we'll start practicing for one of these. And he's just sitting, chill as fuck. And you can tell, like, I knew in that moment that he was stewing over something. Like, this is really fucking weird, the way he's too calm. And he's like, where'd you get the magnet?
Yeah.
And just the way he asks it, and then, she tells him, I've had it forever. It was a gift or something. And she knew in that moment that she was lying, and it would have caused an issue if she just told the truth. And he's like, no, I want the ugly truth. And she's like, yeah, he gave it to me. And then he made her read while he's, like, acting like he's going to have sex with her. Made her read the review that said that he knew, or he just said next question when they asked if the girl that the restaurant was named after knew. He said next question. And then all of that, everything after that was just awful. And even after all of that, she has to, like, slowly inch her way out from under him, and she calls Atlas, and she's like, don't take me to Mass Gen, because that's where he works, and I don't want to see his colleagues. I'm like,
yep.
Stop fucking protecting abusers.
Stop it. Yeah. My only complaint was that she let it go on too long.
Yeah.
But ultimately, made the right choice. We are Team Atlas over here.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, in the second book, we get to see a little bit more.
So much more, and I love it.
I wonder if they've already filmed it. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay. They better be making a second one. They haven't said, I don't think.
Yeah. They've got to.
You better, or else we're gonna riot. We're gonna picket.
We will riot in the streets for a second movie.
Yes. Okay, so it starts with us. The second installation of this series. The title, obviously, is impactful here. So, what is your interpretation of why she named it this way?
Before I read it, I had no clue. I was like, their happy relationship and happiness starts with the two of them getting together, or what?
Mm-hmm.
But the way they tied in Josh being like, a family tree doesn't have to have a lot of branches. It's like it starts with us, just the two of us, making that commitment to family, like because they didn't even know each other existed a few months before. So
Right. Yeah, no, I think it had multiple meanings, to be honest. I
yeah.
think it was about her and the baby. I think it was about her and Atlas. I think it was about Josh. I think it was about all of those things. Just like, we're starting fresh. We're not tolerating abuse. We are going to try to have successful relationships, successful co-parenting. We're going to keep all of our friendships intact, build on these relationships. Like, we're just going to do better.
Yeah. It starts with us making the active decision to not tolerate abuse and like set those boundaries and maintain them.
Got it. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so some hot takes from this book. People thought that it focused too much on the new characters rather than Atlas and Lily. What did you think?
I don't think so. I think it's just enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think you got a glimpse of everything. It just kind of was like, we're wrapping things up, telling you where everyone ends after the dramatic events of the first book.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to see all of these different pieces in order to know where everyone ends up and how it goes. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of my thought. Let's talk about Marshall. Marshall, bless his pea-picking little heart. And you love Alyssa. Or is it, how do you say it? I read it.
Elisa.
So it's Elisa, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phonics, guys. If there's not a pronunciation guide or I don't listen to it, I don't know how to pronounce it. We love her, but why did she have to do that? We love Marshall.
Yeah.
Anyways. True love prevailed, apparently.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, this is another hot take question. Do you think Ryle's progress in this book made you think differently of him at all?
No.
Neither. Somebody who's a piece of shit.
Yeah, because you can change and you can be better for, the future, for the people that come into your life after these events, but you can't take away the trust that you broke and the pain and everything related to all of the things that you did to someone.
Yeah.
Like and he never actually apologizes. So that's like the biggest thing is like, without an apology, nothing matters. Like, unless you acknowledge it and, make changes and let everyone know that you don't want to hurt them and you don't want to do those things again, it's all a moot point.
I agree with that. I think we did see progress, but I still am always going to think he's a piece of shit. And we shouldn't congratulate him for doing the bare fucking minimum.
Yeah, and like when he has a reaction, and Lily even says to herself, she's like, "This all feels grossly familiar."
Mm-hmm.
And here we go again. There's nothing easy about fearing for your safety every time you take or make a misstep. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I still hate him. I don't care if he freaking saves 5,000 people in surgery. Still a piece of shit to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so did this book live up to the first one, do you think? Was it as good?
I thought so. Yeah, I loved
it. I wouldn't say like, okay, I'm going to put it starts with, or it ends with us like here. I'm going to put it starts with us like right here. Because there's there's a big revelation, but there's not like, it's not like boom, 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 so much going on. It's like, okay, we're tying everything up, you know?
Yeah.
So it's different, but it's still, I genuinely enjoyed it.
Yeah. Loved it.
So what do you think? Oh, go ahead, sorry.
There's one point Lily says, we're not going to sweep all of this under the rug. I don't even want there to be a rug. Like, no secrets, nothing. Like, I think she's talking about something with Atlas. Like, she's like, no, we're not going to hide things. We're going to communicate. We're going to talk about it all up front and get it all out in the open. She's like, I don't want there to be a rug, so we're just ripping off the Band-Aid, even if
Yep.
it might make you upset.
Which I think shows her different perspective than the first book where she's like trying to hide it because
Mm-hmm.
she knows of the reaction. So she's realized, I'm going to get the reaction either way. We might as well
Yeah.
just not beat around the bush. Like,
Yeah.
let's just do it.
Yeah.
That was a good point for sure. Just shows her character development as well.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think co-parenting looks like in the future? I see some improvement by the end of the book, right? But like, I still think there's always going to be some haterade between the boys.
For sure. Like, I mean, yes, there's improvement, but there wasn't really. Like, the last
He would
time we
like
see
walk
them
off.
interact, he wouldn't even get out of the car
Yeah,
for like handing off your child. You can't even get out of the car. Like, grow the fuck up, dude.
yeah.
Like,
Like you're a
you fucked
parent.
up. Yeah, you fucked up, and you don't get to be with your now ex-wife and the mother of your child. So you gotta grow up, put your big boy pants on, and accept the person that is going to be in your child's life because he's there. Like, he's always going to be there. He's in it.
And he's a great guy. Like you couldn't ask for a better person to be. Which I know he's like rose colored or not. Let's say black covered glasses on about him, but
Yeah.
like genuinely, as far as human beings go, like you really couldn't ask for a better stepdad. In
No.
my opinion, like great. They're very inclusive, very caring. Like he's
Yeah.
not going to treat the child different. Like
No.
he just doesn't see that because of his blind anger and hatred and jealousy and everything. But
Yeah.
there comes to a
And
point where you have to think like that. You have to think at least he's a good person.
I mean, literally lived this. Like, my
Yeah.
ex was so jealous when Jeremy and I started dating and got married and all of the things. And there was a point, like, he would always get out of the vehicle, but he would like bring friends to like record the interaction as if we were going to do something psycho. I was like, if anything, you're the one that's unhinged. So maybe no. um, but yeah, I mean, a step parent that obviously steps up and is a far better person than the ex. So lived it.
Yeah. And I think time changes everything too, right? Like I'm sure Ryle will find some next victim. And at that point, it just hopefully he doesn't, but like
Yeah.
victimize the next one. But
I mean,
yeah,
looks get people in the door all the time. So,
honestly, too, like hot take, I do not think Justin Baldoni does Ryle justice. In the book, I had pictured like Henry Cavill or something like that. I just don't think this guy is what Colleen Hoover described in the book, but
or
we'll see.
even, I don't know why this just came to mind, but um, what's his name? He played Jess in the Gilmore Girls and the dad in This Is Us. Milo Ventimiglia.
I
You know
don't
who I'm talking about? He's got
know.
longer, dark hair.
Is he too old to play it though? Isn't he older?
Maybe. I mean, I think he's the same age as Blake.
Oh, okay. All right. We aged him up. I forgot,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's all we got. Now we're just pumped for the movie. Now talking about it, I'm like, Wednesday, let's fucking go.
Yeah. I I think my favorite part was when Atlas got mad about something. I can't remember what it was. I think he was mad either at Ryle or at his mom or who knows. But Lily kind of pauses in that moment and recognizes, she's like, this is an anger I'm not afraid of. Like, and she kind of makes note of those moments throughout the book. She's like, I think I'm probably always going to do this. Like, even if, he were mad at me, I don't have to fear for my safety. And that's like a huge thing, like a huge, like, little checkbox in your mind that you're like, I don't have to worry about him getting upset and hitting me or shoving me or fucking raping me or anything. Like,
Yeah.
he's never going to take his anger out on me. He will go blow off steam or whatever he needs to do, but he won't take it out on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the biggest point from that book is, like, how different her mindset is now because of just the feeling of safety is the word I'd maybe use. Like,
Yeah.
he's a safe space, and your spouse should be a safe space, in my opinion.
Yeah.
She just has never known that between her parent, her dad, and Ryle. So it's like her adjusting to having a decent guy. Like, what is that?
Yeah. What did you think of the fucking wedding vows? Like what he says at the end from his therapist.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I did love that she was talking about Josh did something and he was just being considerate, and she's like, considerate Josh, because she called Atlas consider Atlas. So she sees kind of the correlation in their characters, and she knows that she's going to be okay raising her daughter around both of them.
Yep. It's a good, true, decent human being characteristics that she's not used to.
Yeah, love that.
Here for that.
All right. Did you have anything else?
No, I think that's all she wrote.
Yeah. Okay, we're super excited for the movie. Go follow our socials. Instagram. I almost did it again, and I haven't done it in 3 weeks.
LinkedIn.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. Open booked across all of them. Be sure to subscribe to the Spotify because you get early access and bonus content. And like last week was a little maybe unhinged. Like, we could go off for days about those conspiracy theories, but
oh yeah, if you like conspiracy theories, subscribe. We got them for you.
Yeah. So maybe we can just do that like once a month. Just pick a different one and talk about it on the bonus content. And I think we need to do just like a full episode too, so that other people can see just a little bit of our crazy.
Yeah, we all got a little crazy. We just show ours more than others.
Yeah, that might be our husband's fault because they either encourage it or just deal with it.
They're enablers for sure.
Yeah. I think that's it. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.